Good morning. It's Wednesday, April the 15th. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've been up for a couple of hours. I began with my meditation that I do in bed, and then I get up and I grab my breakfast because I'm always super hungry first thing in the morning, and came to my desk and had my breakfast. And then I went to my cozy corner down by the fireplace and did my journaling, which is a really key part of my day, every day. Excuse me, because it really brings me to a place of presence and to a place of what's really important in my life. And it stimulates the free flow right side of my brain so that I can then come up to my computer where I am now in the office and start writing, editing, whatever it is that I'm doing for the day, this particular day. And on my agenda was also to create this video of my COVID story, my COVID journey up to this date, because of course we're not done yet. We're still in the midst of the COVID crisis. And so this is my COVID story of chaos to calm. And I have experienced chaos within all of it. I'm looking at myself right now in this video, and I see a lot of chaos with the hair. The hair is a crisis. Anyway, my story began on March 11th. Was the day that my husband and I, Hank, and the two puppies, Roger and Lucy, we packed up the car and we were heading to the island, to Vancouver Island, to visit my daughter Olivia and her husband Nick and their two dogs, Fiona and Bear. And it was a great day. The sun was shining. We had a beautiful trip. A little bit of snow on the Coquihalla. Got to Souk. Actually, Shirley. They live right near Souk, on Vancouver Island. Made it there. It took us about 8 hours with the ferry and lunch, and it was a great day. And we were so excited to be going to their house and spending a week with them. We hadn't seen them for a long time. So that was on a Monday. And on Tuesday, Olivia and I went into Victoria and had a little shopping date, and everything was fine. We had such a wonderful time, and by Wednesday, Nick, Olivia's husband, who's a nurse, who works in a long-term care facility, came home and said, "You're not going out there anymore." And it was such a drastic change from one day to the next, and I was really surprised, and I wondered, like, what's he talking about? How bad can this be? We had never even really heard of COVID. It was called the coronavirus or something from Asia, and all of a sudden now it had this very different name, COVID-19. It sounded so scientific and serious, and of course it was. So that was on the Wednesday, on the 13th of March, and on the 15th, on the Friday, Donald Trump announced that it was a national emergency. And I remember just having this feeling throughout my body that was this feeling of urgency. And I can even feel it right now as I'm describing it. And I turned to my husband and I said, we have to get the hell off the island. We have to get home. And I'm not really sure why I was thinking that, but because it certainly, we weren't in dire straits at that point. But I just remember feeling that urgency and needing to go. And I'm really in tune with my body and how I feel. So he hesitated because we weren't going to be leaving until Monday. So it was only going to be a couple more days. But I just had this urgency. So by that night, on Friday night, we had our ferry booked for Saturday. And and we with the ferry on Saturday, and we got home by Saturday night. I remember picking up a pizza on our way home. We got into Glenmore and we grabbed a pizza, and the beautiful owners of the pizza shop where we go all the time, Aroma Pizza, they were talking about COVID. It was like all of a sudden everybody was talking about COVID. And we got home, and by Sunday, all the ferry schedule had shifted already. They had decreased their rides. So literally from like Monday to Sunday, the world had changed. And the impact of that was really quite great for me. And I do admit I went to a place of I was afraid, and I used that fear to guide me through the rest of whatever was going to happen ahead of me, because I know that for me fear is something that speaks to me when I need to listen, when my mind and body needs to understand a situation. So if I'm feeling fear, I know that it's because there's something for me to learn in order for me to find clarity about how I'm going to move forward. So I did spend a lot of time with the news, social media. I researched a lot of articles to make sure that I would find out relevant information and from good source, and so that I could understand what was happening with COVID and how it was going to impact me, my husband, my family, and everyone else around me, my community. And I wanted to know what I needed to do in order to support everybody on a global level, including, daring to share what could we do to support other people. My personality is very much about doing the right thing, so it doesn't make me better than anybody else. It just means that I have that sort of righteousness in a good way, I think, to advocate for others and to do the right thing. So, I do also experience frustration when people aren't doing the right thing, and that definitely came out over the course of the following couple of weeks after COVID sort of imploded. I did express those feelings on social media, in particular, within my writing and comments and so on. And so, that may have caused people to be upset with me, or not really understand where I was coming from, maybe, because I know that they're also, like, I did everything to the nth degree. I mean, if you talk about social distancing, I did the 2.5 meters, not just the 2 meters or the 6 feet, and I followed the rules. So I've learned a lot about myself, and that I'm definitely, I knew this before, but like I really have clarity about the fact that I follow rules, which is interesting because when I was younger, I didn't so much. So I know that there, but I also believe in speaking my truth. So I definitely use my voice through this COVID experience, and feel good about that. So and it was all meant just to support people. So if it was misinterpreted, it is what it is. There you go. And I did have various conversations whereby there were misunderstandings. So I learned that too through social media, that when people are in a state of fear, or moving through something that they're not clear about, or that's causing them anxiety, then often we say things that perhaps are misinterpreted, or that well, we may mean them, but we could have probably softened them somewhat. But also that people misinterpret the things that we're sharing because of whatever's going on inside of them, and so that they might misinterpret what you're saying to them. And I did have that a few times, and so was happy that they also replied back, and I could clarify that with them. So I definitely went through a period of fear, and but I used that fear to understand what COVID was all about. And I know that there's a lot of different theories about what COVID is, and but I do really believe in trusting our leaders here in Canada anyway, because they are there for us, and I do trust in Justin Trudeau, and we're out in BC, so Dr. Henry has been an actual calming force for me, because I look forward to watching her every day, and taking solace in that she knows what she's doing, that she is the expert in her field, and I find her very calming. Both her and Justin Trudeau, those are the two people that I do take the time out to watch on TV, and I do find that they are extraordinarily calm, and they create that more calm for me. And I definitely need that, because I can go from 0 to 10 really quite quickly, and I'm a problem solver. So that's probably the piece that's been most frustrating for me throughout all of this, is that my children are not in the same city that I am. One's in a different province, and the other one is on the island. I'm in Kelowna. So we're all apart, and we have been apart for a long time, but this is different, because it's out of my control. I would love to just get in my car and go and see them and be with them, and I just can't do that. The fact that I was with my daughter and her husband, and them felt the need to leave, is just interesting in itself, but I just felt like I needed to be in the comfort of my home. I think I feel safe here, so but so that's been isolation is not just about for me anyways, it's not just about having to stay home. I actually love being home. I'm a writer, and so I've been working from home for years and years, so that's no different for me. I actually really enjoy it, but the difference is that I would, before I often would go and meet somebody for a coffee, or I had the freedom, I guess, to do whatever I wanted. And so that's the difference now with COVID, is that just feeling really grateful and appreciating the freedom that I used to have to be able to go and visit and really just do what I wanted. Like I had the ability to jump in my car and go and see anybody or do anything I wanted. So I'm really feeling grateful and hopeful that will return to us soon. On that note, I'm feeling kind of, part of my concern for the future is that this is not going to be finished anytime soon. I watched Donald Trump, and he's saying he's getting the economy back going and opening up businesses, allowing the governors to open their states when they feel it's right, and he believes that that's going to be very soon. And that really does concern me. I'm not staying up at night, not sleeping. I actually sleep super, super well. But I am concerned about that, because I do feel like whatever happens in the States is going to affect what happens here. And so at this point, I'm hopeful that we don't rush this, and that we can get through to the other side by doing the right thing, and not creating a situation whereby we have kind of a relapse. And I know there's going to be a second wave, but I just think that we can still do better, and collaboratively as community and as a country and globally, that we can really come together and create the support for one another that we need, and flatten the curve. And I think that that's really important. There's so much misinformation out there about that, we just need to go out and everybody get COVID and then it'll be done quicker. But that's, at the expense of how many people dying. And that's the trade-off, is more deaths and more suffering. And so, so my story kind of went from, there was chaotic at the beginning for sure, because there was fear involved, but I'm so grateful for the fear that I experienced, because it allowed me to discover how I wanted to show up within COVID and to protect myself, my husband, my family, my community, and the world. And whatever part I could play, I knew it had to be that I followed the rules and did the right thing. So that fear really served me well. And then I think that's sort of my piece of chaos, I guess, is the fear, but I'm grateful for it. And then moving towards that place of calm has come because I feel like I've done the right thing and played my part. And Daring to Share has done a great job about supporting people through journaling workshop and through our beautiful video recordings with the authors coming together to share how we feel and not be afraid to share the good and the bad and the ugly all together. And so we're doing the best that we can, and we are we're feeling really good about that. And it's also, we're able to support each other within our team, and so that's really important to me because we're such a collaborative and supportive group of friends and human advocates. And so we are here for the rest of the world in whatever capacity that looks like. We're just a small team, but we're strong and we're loud, and we have a voice, and we hope that our voice will support others. So that's my story of COVID-19 chaos to calm on this beautiful Wednesday morning. I look forward to hearing more stories and to be inspired by your stories, because I think it's really important that we all listen and hear each other's stories so that we know that we're not alone in this. We may be isolated within our homes, but we're certainly not alone. Love to all. Please stay safe and well and follow the rules. Bye for now.